Today is the 6th of January 2013, a brand new week, and welcome to this edition of Lunchtime News. You're with me, Katrina Chang. Let's start off with a look at your headlines. The hunger strike launched by the inmates of the Bogamre prison has been called off. The depression in the seas of military lessons. And Minister Reginald Kure says that a revolutionary government must be established in order to create a society devoid of class differences. And 3 injured in accident in Valikanda, Kandy. Now taking a look at those stories in detail, the hunger strike launched by the inmates of the Bogamre prison has been called off. Newsfirst correspondent in the area said that subsequent discussions held with parliamentarian Nama Rajapaksa this morning, measures were taken to call off the strike. 27 inmates, including death row prisoners and those sentenced for life, carried out their hunger strike on the roof of the prison premises since last Friday. The prisoners launched the strike demanding authorities to commute their death sentence and relax their life sentences. And in other local news, the Department of Meteorology stated that the deep pressure areas in close proximity to the island has decreased. However, the department advises the fisher folk to refrain from engaging in fishing activities. Meanwhile, due to the inclement weather condition, the day-to-day activities of the public in Jaffna as well as other northern districts have been disrupted.
Due to the deep pressure area in the northern seas, the day-to-day activities of the public came to a standstill in the Jaffna, Mullaitivu, Kilnochchi and eastern districts. Our correspondent noted that a similar situation was also experienced in the Jaffna district and minor rainfall was experienced in the area today. Meanwhile, due to the inclement weather condition experienced in the area, a low attendance was seen in a number of schools. Our correspondent added that fishermen from certain areas engaged in fishing even though warning was issued to refrain from setting out to sea due to strong winds. Fishermen from certain areas of the Mullaitivu district refrained from engaging in fishing activities today.
Meanwhile, the Disaster Management Centre said that due to the deep depression, residents living 100 meters away from the coast in Jaffna, Kilnochchi and Mullaitivu areas must take precaution.
For the moment, the Meteorology Department issued a severe weather warning with heavy strong wind over the northern area, 80 kilometers per hour. So all the disaster management units since yesterday they are continuously working with all the disaster management activities in the area. So people are still remaining refrain from that 100 meters buffer zone because as per the disaster management center given yesterday morning, so there are no any incidents being recorded so far in that particular areas. Still the deep depressions over the Mullaitivu, as per the Meteorology Department, still we are continuously keeping an eye and continuously monitoring the situation with the department and giving all the information to the vulnerable communities.
In other weather news, heavy mist were experienced in the areas of Munragala, Dambagala and Siamalandua this morning. This weather condition was experienced in the Kanduvatiya Maragal area between 6 and 8 this morning. Our correspondent said that as a result, road travel in the areas of Vallavaya, Pothuvil and Dambagala main roads were disrupted. And in other local news, Minister of Mine Export Crop Promotion Reginald Kure said that a revolutionary government must be established in order to create a society void of differences between class and creed.
Even if you like it or not, we live in a society where there's a distinction between rich and poor and in classes and race. So what is the weapon to destroy such distinction? It is by establishing a revolutionary government that we can create a society void of such differences.
Minister Bima Veeravangsa said that it is dangerous to drag grade 5 students into a very competitive examination. He made this statement at an event held in Kaduvela yesterday.
සාකච්ඡාවේදී අපි කරු ජනාධිපතිතුමාගේ නායකත්වයේ
In the last cabinet meeting, the president decided that the Grade 5 scholarship will not be abolished. It is not the Grade 5 scholarship that must be abolished, rather a change that should be made in how Grade 5 scholarships are being conducted. Instead, you should change the age where such competitive examination can be borne. We must pave the way for students to be accepted into schools which have more resources. It is very dangerous to drag Grade 5 students into such competitive examination. That child will lose the childhood because of this.
පහවසක දරුවෙකු ඇඳගෙන යන එක බහදක. ඒ දරුවට තමන්ගේ ළමා වයසේ සුන්දරත්වය අත්විඳින තියෙන අවස්ථාව අහිමි වෙලා තියෙනවා.
The Health Ministry of the Western Province says that steps will be taken to avoid the hospital admittance of intoxicated individuals who are not patients. The Director of the Western Provincial Health Ministry, Dr. Amal Harshali Silva, said that they will request the assistance of the police to implement this.
Intoxicated persons coming into healthcare institutions, we understand, is a major problem today. And our staff is getting harassed by some of these intoxicated people. And we cannot prevent a person coming intoxicated while you are a patient. You know, if he's bleeding or some medical emergency, we will not deny treatment for them. But in the meantime, we have given strict instructions to hospitals, especially in the Western Province, to prevent the bystanders and onlookers coming intoxicated to hospitals. And if they come to hospitals intoxicated, we will see no reason as to why we should not hand over them to police and then prevent them from coming into institutions intoxicated. And therefore, I think we have given strict instructions to all medical superintendents, the directors of hospitals and DMOs and MOICs to prevent people coming intoxicated, especially to as bystanders and also people to see patients in the hospitals. Better the intoxicated people should avoid the hospitals after being intoxicated.
A bus accident occurred in the Valikanda area in Kandy last evening. The bus, which was plying from Kandy to Manikinna, met with an accident in the Valikanda Mahayav area. The police stated that the accident occurred when the bus veered off the road and collided onto a lamp post due to a mechanical issue. 3 of the injured were admitted to the Kandy General Hospital for further treatment. Well, that's a look at this edition of Lunchtime News. It was a pleasure having you with us. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Katharina Chang. Have a pleasant day ahead.